2 days for the Tennessee Titans as we had the 53-man roster cutoff date. And then earlier this morning, you had waiver claims, which were due at 11 a.m. Central Time. Welcome into Titans Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Brett Alper, and we're going to break down all of the roster moves that were made today that involved the waivers and the practice squad, and also a couple of signings and a couple of cuts. Let's go to the one that we saw yesterday at about 4:45 p.m., and it was Shy Tuttle. He was released by the Panthers, and he intended to sign a one-year deal with the Tennessee Titans. So that is the reason why you subscribe to the channel. Stay up to date with all Titans news and rumors. When something happens, we make a video. You wanted practice squad updates? We got you. You wanted waiver claim updates? We got you. So make sure you subscribe to Titans Today right now. So no Titans were claimed off any type of waivers that were cut yesterday after the 53-man roster. There was rumors that Jalen Kimber was claimed by the Buffalo Bills, but later find out that the Bills did not make any roster claims. So we'll give you a little spoiler alert. The Titans, they made 4 claims, and they also signed 1 player, so they had to make 5 cuts. And here are your 5 cuts. Timmy Horn, Curtis Joseph, Gabe Judy Lowley, which I did say I did not think he was going to make the 53-man roster, John Ojukwu, and Corey Levin. And that is the big surprising, that Corey Levin was cut. And we'll get to that in a little bit later, but we'll get to the waiver claims going forward. And they were 2 of them. On the defensive back, you have Jalyn Armour-Davis and Sam Womack. And I think the big one that everybody was talking about, because the Titans, they had the first spot. They had the first available spot to claim waivers. They had the number 1 spot since you had the number 1 draft pick. It went in the draft order. So let's talk about Jalyn Armour-Davis. Coming over he was cut by the Baltimore Ravens, had a solid preseason, but did not show enough to make the initial 53-man roster. They were really, really hoping. A lot of teams were hoping to claim him. I saw our Dolphins Today host, Nick Roloff, saying, damn, I wish we really had a chance to get Jalyn Armour-Davis because he's a solid player. Last year, he appeared in a lot of games, had 1 pass breakup, 8 tackles, and you also had Samuel Womack III. And last year, good stats for college. 36 tackles, 2 interceptions, 9 PBUs. I expected him to make a roster, but didn't happen, which I was surprised. But then once you look at this cornerback depth chart, you had Gabe Julie Lowley out of here. I think that was because the Titans, they saw he's on waivers. We have to make this happen. But you have L'Jarius Sneed, Jarvis Brownlee Jr., Roger McCreary, Darrell Baker, and Marcus Harris. But adding a lot. Like, that is 7 guys on the roster at defensive back, which is kind of interesting. I'm interested to see if they go forward once we get to week 1. Then you have Dorian Mausi, the linebacker, and I was trying to just look at what he was doing, like 2025 UDFA out of Auburn. Didn't show much. I didn't really see a lot of film on him as he was coming from in preseason, but you just add way more depth to the interior linebacker spots. You already know that Cody Barton and James Williams was going to be there, and then you have Anthony Orji going on IR, so there was another spot open. You can see that they wanted to have 5 guys, but I think that you're mainly going to see James Williams and Cedric Gray as kind of your 2 guys that are going to flop back and forth at that starting position. I like these roster claims. They really see that they see some kind of opportunity. And your last one was CJ Ravenell coming over from Minnesota, defensive end. And you guys know how I feel about these edge rushers. I want as many edge rushers as you could possibly have on the roster. Did not play in 2024, but I think that you could get something, anything. Just add a little bit of depth. I mean, you already have Sebastian Joseph Day, Draymond Jones, Arden Key, Femi Odejo, Jahad Ward, and Jalen Harrell. But, hey, I'm not going to complain about adding another edge rusher. These guys are waiver claims. Most of the time, you don't really see them kind of involve themselves in you see him on the 53-man roster, but I don't expect these guys to be a starter, except for Jalyn Armour-Davis. I think that him rotating in with the DBs, especially if we don't know if L'Jarius Sneed is healthy enough to play a full 17-game schedule. I think he's ready for week 1. Grade the Titans waiver claims for me. Go down in the comments, A, B, C, D, or F. I'll say it's going to be about a C+. When you get the first spot, your number 1, you got to see the best players that are available. And I think the Titans got those with these waiver claims. Go down in the comments right now. And while we're doing that, I can tell you about our sponsor of today's show, and that is Prize Picks. We're almost to week 1, ladies and gentlemen. Preseason football is over. College football is already here. And don't miss any of the action this season on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you can cash in and win up to 2,000 times your money. Prize Picks is the best way to win real money this football season. Which players are going off and which ones aren't. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks giving you a max discount for week 1 of the regular season with Dak Prescott. Just more for 1 passing yard. That's all he needs. And then some season-long player projections. Calvin Ridley, 925.5 receiving yards. The more on that one. Tony Pollard, the more on 900.5 rushing yards. With Tajay Spears being out for at least 4 weeks, I think Tony Pollard's going to eat it up. Put your sports opinions to the test and make a lineup just like that one when you download the Prize Picks app and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. The link for that will be in the comments and description of today's video. Prize Picks. Run your game. Going to go through the practice squad just real quickly for you guys. I was really excited to see Xavier Restrepo kind of pass waiver claims and also James Proche. Like, those are 2 wide receivers that were on the bubble. Mainly Proche. You guys saw the video I put out yesterday. It was a big shocker to me that he got cut. I was expecting him to be part of this. Mason Kinsey. You also have your emergency third quarterback with Trevor Siemian, Andrew Rupcich, and then we keep going. We got defensive tackle Isaiah Rakes. He was a part of those cuts. Ali Gay, Jordan Mims, Kendall Brooks, Cam Horsley. All of these guys that we talked about, like you can see all of these names here, there are no surprises. They were all on this Titans team in the preseason, in training camp. And you keep going like Jamar Jefferson, Amani Oruwariye. I can't believe I think I got that right. Carlos Watkins and Thomas Odukoya. Like, this is a good practice squad. And you got one more player. They signed 14 players. And the Titans, they're allowed 16 players. And I want to go back quickly. Like, you see 16 players, there's 14. I want to go back to just the offensive line. The Titans cut Corey Levin. And that is one thing that really is surprising to me. Because if you look at this offensive line depth chart, which thank you, producer Lotta Ray, there's no backup center. I don't know what the Titans, maybe they think Jackson Slater can kind of move into that spot. They say, we hope Corey Levin passes through waiver claims. But he had a really good training camp and a really good preseason as that backup center because he was running with the starting reps without Lloyd Cushenberry on the PUP list. Yeah, I know Cushenberry is going to be ready week 1, but why would the Titans not have a backup center? You're coming off an Achilles injury. He will be ready for week 1, but it's not a guarantee that he is going to be fully healthy. Like, I just want to have a safety valve, and the Titans, they don't have a safety valve right now. So I'll ask you, will the Titans make another move? Right now, they don't have a backup center. They got to go out and get one. They hope that Levin will be on the practice squad and he'll get activated at some point. But will they make another move? Type Y for yes or type N for no in the comments. And also, if you made it to the end of the video, probably should hit subscribe, right? We're giving you Titans coverage almost every single day. Covering the Titans, whether they make a move, practice squad, waiver claim, it does not matter. We got you covered here on Titans Today. So make sure you subscribe. And as always, tighten up.